The Wire wanted you looking at breaches again Saturday. The BBC counting 3 testing lab intrusions in a month. CNBC warning the Hugging Face era caught most companies flat-footed. Fine, that's real. But the single most useful thing published all day was sitting quietly at position 5 on your list, and it's the answer this entire month has been circling. DBT Labs. From analytics engineer to context engineer, cutting AI token costs by 98%. Here's what they actually found, because the number isn't marketing. DBT piloted feeding AI from summaries modeled inside their data warehouse instead of wiring agents straight to vendor MCP connectors pulling raw source data. Serving call transcripts from warehouse summaries dropped token costs by roughly 98% while maintaining or improving context quality. Read that twice. Not a trade-off. Cheaper and better. The easy route everyone's taking. Plug the agent directly into a dozen MCP servers, let it slurp raw data, is, in DBT's words, collectively costing companies billions in token consumption, vendor API charges, and lost data ownership. The fix is the thing data teams have done for a decade. Model the data once in one place and serve everyone from that. Read data once, serve every agent. This is the callback to where this whole daily run started, and it closes a loop worth naming. 6 weeks ago, the first piece I wrote for you was about the semantic layer having a moment. That CVS/eaten a job posting demanding semantic layer, YAML, snowflake, and the argument that context engineering was mostly the semantic layer with better branding. DBT just put a hard number on exactly that thesis. And notice the framing they chose, from analytics engineer to context engineer. Same person, same skills, same stack, new remit, and a 98% cost lever in their pocket. Yesterday's token apocalypse, companies scrambling to stop overspending on AI, met its answer today. And the answer isn't a new tool. It's the data engineer you already employ, doing the modeling they already know how to do, pointed at a new consumer. Why does this beat the breach coverage for your audience? Because it's the rare item that's both strategically important and immediately actionable. Every other story this month told you what to fear. This one tells you what to build, and it's within reach of any team with a warehouse. If your AI spend is climbing and your agents are chugging raw data through vendor MCPs, DBT just published your Q4 roadmap. The most valuable person in the 2026 data org isn't the one prompting the model. It's the one who decides what the model gets to see and models it cheaply. Now the day's actual news, because it wasn't quiet everywhere. The Astra pause carried into the weekend. The Guardian ran OpenAI's decision to halt work on the model that may hit critical cyber capability. So if you missed Friday's turning point, that's the one to catch up on. The first time a lab braked over its own model. And a genuinely important new threat class landed. The Hacker News reports silent memory poisoning, an attack that turns Ask AI buttons into a vector for corrupting an agent's persistent memory. This is the evolution of the prompt injection thread we've tracked all month, and it's nastier. Instead of hijacking one response, the attacker poisons what the agent remembers, so the corruption persists across future sessions. If you ship an Ask AI feature backed by memory, this is your Read It Now item. Assume anything a user can make the agent ingest can be made permanent. The scale race kept escalating on 2 fronts. ByteDance is reportedly pushing toward a 10 trillion parameter model aimed past Anthropic R's, roughly 4x Kimi K3. The number arms race continuing even as the months lessen is that raw scale isn't the whole game. And CNBC's read is that China is narrowing the AI gap, but US compute and capital keep it ahead. The clearest one-line summary of the geopolitical state of play. Capability is converging. The moat is now money and chips. Meanwhile, the infrastructure sprawl went global. NVIDIA's Firebird launched the CIS region's largest AI factory in Armenia. A reminder that the data center build-out is now a worldwide land grab, not a Silicon Valley one. Two items deserve a serious, non-glib mention because they're about real harm, not market moves. Ars Technica asked why AI chatbots keep failing people in crisis, and what could actually fix it. A genuinely important piece on the gap between helpful assistant and safe in a mental health emergency. Worth reading if you build anything user-facing. And The Guardian reports UK children seeing a surge in explicit AI deepfakes of themselves, the grimmest threat of the week, and a stark reminder that the same generative capability everyone's racing to ship has a victim class that isn't in any benchmark. Neither is a data engineering story exactly, but both are the human cost line of the industry you work in, and they belong in an honest brief. The Builder's Bench, lighter on a Saturday. Cloudflare had a big day. It opened its AI app building platform to non-coders Rs and launched Kitesurf, a cloud-hosted browser built for AI agents. TechCrunch. Agent-native infrastructure is becoming a product category, though after this month's browser agent hijack stories, a browser built for agents is a phrase to approach with your security hat on. And Simon Willison flagged that auto mode is now the default in Claude Code for Pro, Max, and Team. A small change with real cost implications given how Claude Code resends transcripts. Worth knowing if your team's spend just shifted under you. The through line, one sentence. On August 8, The Wire chased breaches while DBT quietly published the month's actual answer. That modeling context in your warehouse, instead of piping raw data through vendor MCPs, cuts token costs tilde 98% at equal or better quality, which means the whole run's lesson lands on one unglamorous conclusion. The data engineer who owns the context layer is the most leveraged person in the 2026 AI org. One thing to do today. Find one place your team wires an AI agent directly to raw source data through a vendor MCP or a firehose connector. Estimate the monthly tokens it burns. Then read DBT's piece and ask whether a warehouse summary modeled once, served to every agent, could do the same job. DBT got 98% at equal quality. Even if you get half that, it's the highest ROI afternoon on your roadmap. And unlike every other story this month, it's entirely in your control.